Ready? All right, we'll call to order the Blythewood Town Council special call meeting with the joint planning session. We're in the manor tonight. Today is Monday, February 6, 2023. The time is now 5:30 p.m. Ms. Durst, please call the roll. Town Council.
Councilman Brock,
Here.
Councilman Bowman,
Present.
Councilman McKendrick,
Here.
Mayor Franklin.
I'm here. Councilman Griffin.
Councilman Griffin,
Okay, Ms. Durst, was tonight's notification and posting of the meeting agenda completed in accordance with state law?
yes, sir.
Thank you. Council members, before you is tonight's agenda. We're looking for a motion to approve, if you accept it.
Motion to approve as presented. Second.
There probably a motion and seconded to approve tonight's agenda as presented. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. Please join Councilman Brock tonight for the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation.
Lord God, we come before you today to do the town's business. We ask that you bless this body, this town, this state, and this country. We ask that you watch over our first responders, our police, our firefighters, our men who are fighting to keep our country free, both domestically and abroad. All these things we ask in your name.
Thank you, Councilman Brock. And our first order of business, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for watching at home. We'll be in executive session per South Carolina Section 30-4-70, Part A, discussion of proposed purchase of property, and Part B, receipt of legal advice subject to attorney-client privilege regarding claims and potential claims by and against the town, reference MPA strategies.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second. It's been properly motioned and seconded to go into executive session. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. We will move into executive session and will be less than 30 minutes, hopefully.
Good.
Good to see you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Historical Society.
Yeah. Or commiserations. Well, yeah. Oh, good to see you. I've not seen anything from him today, but Marcus told me that's what he would be doing.
All right, we'll reconvene and back into open session. Thank you all for coming tonight, those of you who've joined us since we left. Council, before us, we had an executive session with our attorneys. Do we have any items requiring a vote following executive session?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman McHenry.
I would like to make the following motion that the town of Blythewood affirm our current agreements with both the Shannon Burnett Law Firm and Nixon Pruitt to continue handling all affairs related to MPA strategies, any counterclaims, and future claims that may arise or be served as it pertains to MPA strategy and any members of council.
Second.
It's been probably motion and seconded to retain all current outside counsel through the process of the MPA lawsuits, current and future. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Ms. Durst, let the record know that I abstain from this vote.
The ayes have it. Motion passes. Thank you. Mr. Durst, can you conduct roll call of the Planning Commission, please?
Chairman Taylor?
Here.
Chairman Page? I'm sorry, Commissioner Page. Chairman Gorge?
Here.
Commissioner Wells? Commissioner Coleman?
Here.
Commissioner Kessler? Commissioner Mosley?
Do we have a quorum?
We
Okay.
do not have a
Okay,
quorum, but we
let's
don't
just
really
make-
need a quorum.
Good. So they're just here to listen to us then?
Yes.
I will make note, I'm sure Chairman Gorge knows, but Commissioner Wells is resigning because he has a conflict with another charitable board that he's a member of. So we will have a vacancy and try to fill that vacancy as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. All right, tonight's discussion item with the joint session of the council and the planning commission are the town council goals for 2023, 2024. Mr. Williamson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So on January 6th, the council had a goal-setting session, and still kind of in the works to get this finalized. But as we're looking for opportunities to engage with the planning commission and speaking with the planning commission chair, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to share and have a dialogue between the town council and the planning commission on the goals that the council has proposed thus far for 2023 and 2024. So what was included in your packet is what the Municipal Association Field Services Manager, Charlie Barano, what he put together. It's kind of a summary. It probably doesn't capture everything, but it was just a way to get a dialogue started. And he's ready to come back and help the council with establishing priorities whenever council's ready.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll just add for the commissioners and the chairman, we developed 11 objectives, and then under the objectives, 11 goals with certain objectives under each one. And why it's critically important we discuss that with the community is as we enter the budget season, as you've heard me say many times before, municipalities resource what they believe in. So you can talk about big goals, audacious goals, things you want to do, but what do you really want to do, and then what objectives do you have, and then when you declare those publicly, now you have to resource them to make them a reality. So that's what we're here tonight. just have an open dialogue with citizens and planning commissioners to talk about each one of these. And if there's anything that you would like to contribute, please do so, because this is not an all-inclusive or a set in stone document. It's the things we believe in, what we value, and what we want to see going forward in the next 2 years. So with that, the 11 objectives are, 11 goals: communication strategy, so we can reach out to all our stakeholders, whether it be other government, state and federal government, or other nonprofit organizations or boards. Number 2, engage lobbyists or an advocacy firm to assist us. We don't have the resources, we don't have the grant writing abilities that we so badly need to help us raise revenues. Events, continue to stage as many events as we can afford for the citizens of Blythewood to come and appreciate. So during the budget session, we may be narrowing that down to our cornerstone type events that our citizens really enjoy and believe in, and we'll put those in the budget. A Veterans Park, to give back to our veterans in working with the Blythewood Historical Society Museum. This has been a goal we've had for about 3 years now, and now we have a plan, and now we want to see it through. Transportation, connectivity of the roads, we've talked about this. We've talked, part of the communication strategy will more engage the federal and state governments to help us make that because as you know, you're changing thoroughfares and major streets, you got to get higher level governments and SCDOT involved. Annexation strategy, we've had multiple citizens based on our outreach and our questionnaire soliciting opinions about people joining the town. As Blythewood continues to grow in population internally, we're looking to expand the borders of Blythewood itself, so we have that positive control and the home rule, the say-so on zoning and development and green space and parks. Industrial park, we all have read the paper, heard the news. Major industries are looking to relocate in the 1,350 acres that we've set aside and rezoned along with our partners at Richland County Council to stimulate that. But what does right look like? Obviously, we're not going to have smokestacks and copper smelters, but we want the right fit, and it also brings revenues to the town for business license fees. Development of multipurpose civic center. We're almost finalizing Richland School District 2 giving us the old Bethel Hanbury gym, which back then was Bethel High Gymnasium, to maintain the historic nature of that property and use it as a meeting space. Maybe it's not appropriate that you come here to the manor for your family reunion. Maybe it's cost prohibitive, but we'll have a civic center out where people can do that. Premier sports venue. We purchased 4 acres just to the north here across McLean Road, and now we're adding to that hopefully as we're in contract negotiations to expand an ability for us to use more green space for recreational purposes. Environmental stewardship. As we buy these properties, we will maintain them in an environmentally friendly way. Walking trails, nature trails, sports fields, picnic shelters, and maintain them for posterity as opposed to just clear-cutting forest and building houses. We're actually setting aside space for our citizens to use in the future. And lastly, new revenues. All these things I just mentioned take money. With a $3 million annual budget, you can't fund it all, but what do you fund and how can you creatively bring in more revenues to assist us in making these visions come true? So with that, I'll conclude my comments and just ask for any feedback that you may have and what priorities do you see here? What should we get first? What should we fund first? Maybe we push one off that's not necessary. It's not a necessity right now. I'll ask for any input, please. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, absolutely, and thank you for that comment. And the council will tell you, and I've said it as I can only speak for myself as one voting member, I will never support a millage while I'm the mayor of this town. We pay too much tax right now without the result that we should have as a small community in the northeast of this county. And I'm open with that. I talk to every elected official at county and state level about this. So we pay our fair share, but we're not getting our return in investment. We're the 5th or 4th fastest growing municipality in the state of South Carolina, according to the last census. And we still have the same 3 baseball fields that I grew up playing on in the late 1970s. I mean, it's just, we have been left out. And I think we need to correct that with what we're already paying and not ask people who are on a fixed income to pay more taxes when we really can't show truly what we're getting for what we're paying right now as costs. And the per capita income up here is very, very high in the county. We're probably one of the top areas of the county as far as per capita income per household. But we got the same park, we got the same 2-lane roads. I mean, so yes, ma'am, I hear you. And from my standpoint, I don't think a millage is the right answer. So that's why I say creative revenues. How else can we do it? Can we get grants from the USDA, the federal government, to fully give us $15 million to put new parks and recreation centers? So we'll be pursuing those in the next 2 years based on these objectives. But thank you. I agree with you. Any comments, council members?
Mr. Mayor, quick question. For goal number 8, in regards to the sports venue,
Yes, sir.
is there any intention of leveraging the sports venue in order to generate revenue for the town, or are we leaving this solely as a free area for those to come and enjoy in recreation?
Absolutely. Great question, sir. Here in the recent past, we were partnering with the Fairfield County Economic Development Team, and there was going to be a proposed wastewater treatment facility right off of Peach Road, 5 miles up the 77. That deal fell through, but they were going to set aside about 140 acres just for the town of Blythewood to purchase to modernize it to like Lexington does, Sumter does, other areas of the state, build a modern sports complex. But we would absolutely lease that out to USSSA baseball, all the travel ball teams, all the softball teams, all the flag football teams. Lease it out just like we pay fees when we go to Lexington with our kids now to play. We would do the same here, and it would be an income generating. I saw some documents Lexington County and Richland County had that these sports complexes pay for themselves in 30 years just off travel revenues. Recreationally wise, the Recreation Baseball League, they just pay a set fee based on their fee income. They charge athletes $35, I believe it is, for a season. And I believe we pay 10 or 15% to Richland County to use those fields. And then it's all maintained by parents of these athletes because they don't have the staff up here to cut grass and all that. So we have actual parents and coaches come up here with their riding lawnmowers and cut the grass, rake the leaves twice a year. So to answer your question, absolutely, it would be an income generating event for us. And look where Blythewood is, right in we're in the heart of the state. I mean, literally and figuratively. So you got 77, you got 20, you got 26, you got 95 not too far away. So it would be easier for teams in Charleston and Greenville to travel here and go back home than it is from a Charleston team to have to go to Atlanta or up to Charlotte just to play a travel baseball game. So thank you for that, but you're right, absolutely.
Thank you.
Other comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Chairman.
if you would like to go through this list numerically, that's absolutely fine. But I could make a comment on the Veterans Park because the Historical Society is obviously going to take a very significant role in driving this project forward, trying to outline the goals and objectives, and how we're going to deal with raising the funds, how we're going to identify the names of the veterans that we'll be including in the monument and so on. The existing committee will be meeting during the course of February, so we should be able to come to council at the next council meeting to give you an update on that, where we are, where we think the opportunities are, where we think the issues are, whether we need more resources, more people, whatever objectives we feel are easily achievable or require more clarity and development. So if that's okay with you guys, we can postpone a more detailed discussion until that council meeting.
Absolutely, thank you. Now, did you assume office yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Chairman Gorge is the new president of our Blythewood Historical Society Museum. His volunteerism never stops with our community, so I want to say thank you, sir, and congratulations.
I appreciate it. It's a welcome opportunity, but it's also a challenge, as you can imagine.
We are still willing partners, and
Yeah.
thanks for all you do. Other comments? Comments from those present? Anyone?
Well, let me carry on
Please.
then.
Yes, sir.
Hoping that.
up?
No, I thought it was loud enough. Are we good? All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, please. Yes, sir.
I know it's a little awkward, but this is actually my first opportunity to talk about something that actually is near and dear to myself. I'm also a veteran, but I also run a nonprofit organization called Carolina Film Network for the entire region of the Carolinas, and I'm the executive director. We run an international film festival. It's our 5th year in Columbia. And the only reason why we run it in Columbia is because we don't have all of the accommodations in Blythewood. And I just want to kind of say how important on an artistic level and as a leader in the arts community about the Civic Center, especially with the gymnasium. I've actually been inquiring about that since before the school even transitioned to what it is now. I am looking for a location to run the first annual, kind of like the academies of the film industry here through the Film Commission in South Carolina, and I'm trying not to do it in Charleston or other places. So if you could please at least keep us abreast on what developments with the Civic Center might be, because I literally just got done talking to Malcolm about it right before this meeting, not even knowing that that's something that the town has actually been considering. But in terms of the arts community, I have several different things that could really benefit the town of Blythewood if a Civic Center was here. So I just wanted to say that as a citizen.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's a bright future. Any other comments? Well, I would ask you, as you have good ideas, just keep letting us know, and we'll keep incorporating them into this plan. Like I said, it's a living document. Those are the goals. So when folks say, what is Blythewood doing besides an Oktoberfest and Rib Fest, a Christmas parade? We're looking to the future, buying property, setting aside green space, and trying to put good ideas out and to take care of our citizens.
Mr. Mayor, before you go on, I think I was going to make a comment about item number 6, the annexation strategy.
Yes, sir.
That will be part and parcel of the work we'll be doing looking at zoning. I know we're not quite at the point yet, I believe, Carol, with actually hiring the consultants, but we have a plan for developing our zoning and land use ordinances, and the annexation approach will be part of that. So that will gain traction as soon as we bring the consultants on board. And I think the Planning Commission wants to participate in that and provide as much input in that as possible. I don't know what your perception is, but I see us working together, council members and Planning Commission, to develop that goal and strategy and approach to try and reach as many people as possible to make this offer meaningful and a success.
Okay. Absolutely, sir. Part 7 tonight, action items. Mr. Williamson, none tonight. Part 8 is open citizen comments. We've had several people sign up. Yep. Mr. Byrne from Sir, please. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Charles Bain, 833 Mount Valley Road, residence. And I was going to ask Mr. Williamson if he'd pull up the map. I think Mr. McKendrick knows Mr. Brock. Mayor, he already got a copy of it. The road I live on is about a 1.5 lane dirt road. It's unimproved, no ditches. You know, there's like a 48-inch city water main that runs down it, so it gets pretty muddy at one end. Now, when he beams in on that, that road is about 3 miles long. I lived like in the first half mile, and there's like 9 houses on it. And Mrs. Berrien owns the property across from this. It's like 80 or 90 acres. It's a professionally managed forest tract. That's in Blythewood proper. Now, when you we had 2 years ago, there's a subdivision there called Abney Hills, and it was, in my opinion, illegally, but it was approved, using that dirt road as major access into like a 400-home subdivision. And it was a nightmare and a mess. And anyway, I got the Planning Commission, and I thought this Planning Commission was Blythewood Planning Commission tonight, and I think I was wrong about that. The Planning Commission is the Recreation.
No, this is the Blythewood.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
This is Blythewood Planning Commission.
Okay. But anyway, we go back, and two members came out and looked the road over and says, no, we can't have this. We're going to block this road permanently. Access from Mount Valley into Abney Hills. Could you see the Mount Valley Road? Yes. Okay. Now, what happens, like I said, I'll pick up, first half mile is Blythewood. After that, it's about 2 miles. The road continues to swagger. And it continues to be unimproved. It's really hilly. There's lots of creeks in there. It's really a mess. And what I've noticed lately is they're starting to sell some land, and twice now they've strip cut, which is fine, logs in there, and that tells me there's some development probably going to be on the horizon there. And I just want, I'm requesting as part of this, that if you could contact your counterpart in the Richland County Planning Commission and make sure they know this is an unimproved road. You know, it can't stand any volume of access, and it needs to be paved if they're going to do something. Well, that's going to cost a fortune to do that, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm requesting here is if someone would make contact with the counterpart in the Richland County Planning Commission, let them know about this road. And it's not accessible. It is, but not realistically. We'd be right back again where we were 2 years ago when we blocked off access to all Abney Hills. So that's all I'm requesting is if someone could contact Richland County and get a name, somehow get on their list when this comes up from a developer or something, some red flag will come up. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Questions,
I
Councilman?
know in the big scheme of things here, it's my big deal. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Miss Becky Berrien, my apologies, I don't have my glasses. Yes. So I'll ask our town administrator to follow up, see what the plan is, if there's any permitting already, and then we'll let you know. But I share your frustration. I mean, we build school on top of school on top of school, and we still have 2-lane roads. So we're off, and I say we collectively as citizens of this area are, yeah, I mean, so absolutely. And Locklear has the same problem. Locklear across from Cobblestone that runs by the Masonic Lodge there, if we're going to start building an industrial park, they're going to have to use that access. Well, you put big construction trucks on that little dirt road, we're going to issues? At the bottom, that's washed out since the flood. Yes, sir. Okay, but thank you. Thank you both. Any other open citizen comments? Any other comments from planning commissioners before we adjourn? Thank you all for coming. Think about this. You have any ideas, let us know.
Will do.
Thank you, sir. And we will certainly include you, just like you recommended. Council members, closing comments? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
One of them. It's been probably motioned and seconded to adjourn tonight's meeting. Thank you all for attending. Thank you for watching at home. I'll just add this. The attorneys asked me to read a statement. A new complaint was filed against the town by MPA Strategy and Ashley Hunter on January 30th. The complaint pleads multiple causes of action against the town and Mayor Franklin. These claims were expected as they relate to the town's counterclaim against MPA and Ms. Hunter. A full copy can be found on the Richland County Public Index. The town plans to vigorously defend itself against these baseless allegations made in the complaint. The town will continue to pursue all avenues to protect its citizens and continue serving the citizens of Blythewood with excellence. Any further questions about this lawsuit should be directed to the town's outside litigation counsel, Mr. David Black. Any other comments? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. We're adjourned.